All right, I guess we're kind of live, maybe. I haven't done something incredibly stupid, pressed some sort of wrong button, made some sort of horrid mistake.
Kind of live, maybe.
Yeah, there we go. Seems to be working. So now I need that stupid chat thing. Oh, I have to look around the microphone. And, all right, so that should be enough to get us going and such. Volcano. We should probably look at volcano to start, maybe. Volcano is here, maybe. Yes, volcanoes. But then I always have to re-pump up the whatever it is. It's always something. Yeah, I lose the chat and I lose the. Where's my camera? I don't know what these things are. It might be dangerous. Some sort of porn images here. No, can't hit that. Can't hit that. It's one of these, I know. Let's see. I think that's what I'm looking for. Nope. That one might be it. Yes. There we go. It's me. Now it's proper. Okay. Now we've got everything we need here, I think, in terms of tools. Yeah, I wonder why. Well, there's no point wondering. Yeah, no, there's no point doing it. Yeah, I don't have that full screen, so it really shouldn't be a problem, but I don't know. Well, anyway, this technical things, trying to make sense of it all. So this is the, probably should have my image over here, but it doesn't quite look right because, this part of the rim is just waiting to fall into the volcano. And, we'll get to see it sometime after it actually happens. And it'll mean not very much. I don't have a real agenda. It's an InMendham room, so I'll let the assholes decide. You people. So somebody posted a comment that was kind of funny, complaining about how I insult the people that listen to my videos, and yeah, I do that. But I think it's sort of for a good reason. Some comments, here they are. Yes. So Lieutenant Obvious, troll name just to start with. If you are a viewer subscriber and you don't feel mocked and insulted by the last 10 minutes of this video, then you have no self-respect. You should have no self-respect, personally. I mean, when somebody just, they're making the general argument that the human organism is a scum by its nature, and the only thing that makes us at all useful or decent is understanding, knowledge of what decency is and what it is to be, graceful and productive and generous and all of these things. And it's only knowledge of that stuff that makes us any of those things, because we're none of those things by nature. So we all shouldn't have too much self-respect, because we're all pretty scummy in the sense that we make excuses and rationalizations to do what we want rather than what we should be doing. And I think we're all guilty of it. And I don't think any of you are above the accusation. I'm trying the best I can, and I suck at it. So if you think you're so great, then go ahead. You may take control and be the arbiter of the truth and explain to everybody how they're doing really swell. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, wait. Oh, no shit. That's about the only groupies Gary's allows. So again, allows how? You're commenting your crap, your useless crap, your non-argument about something. Oh, the messenger's a shithead. So again, I've only said it 4 million times, but the argument. You're just arguing Gary. Well, yes, Gary's an asshole. Gary's pointed that out plenty of times. So fuck you. The rest get promptly blocked and banned. So silly me. Yeah, so there's not one name you can give me of a character here. Give me the screen name of the poor person who was wrongly abused and blocked. Go ahead, give me the screen name, and I'll unblock the magic person you said was making brilliant arguments. No, it didn't happen. That's your silly fantasy, retard. Ugh. Anyway, these pathetic assholes. Pathetic. Oh, so still nothing in the chat. Even in the Mendham room can't generate much interest on a Sunday, which is fine. I don't need you people. You're useless. So I'll insult you some more. Let's see. Did you ever cover nuclear? Would love to hear your educated opinions. What the fuck are you talking about? Not a properly asked statement. Yes, nuclear power, if that's what you're talking about, is a really good thing, but you can't let people do it in any kind of closed source capitalist way. So because they cut corners and cheat, and you end up not having proper generators and proper batteries and proper this and proper that, and the thing melts down and it's incredibly expensive. So yeah, if you have to let capitalists do it, fuck it. It's dangerous. That's a simple truth. And if you're not going to do it very carefully and very regulated and very cautious, then don't do it at all. Do it right or don't do it at all. Nuclear is sort of that kind of thing. So, Lieutenant Obvious, once again, nobody watches your physics videos because nobody's interested in watching no, the truth is nobody watches physics videos. That is, videos by anyone who isn't a popular physics talking head. So I could go to any physics video that's not by a popular talking head, even if it's a professor of physics doing math equations or something. I could show you how the view count is pitiful. And the only ones that have any kind of view count are because they're doing math specific to passing tests in India, apparently. India, lots of new physicists coming out of India, and they're all trying to do it on the cheap in the sense that they don't want to have to pay to go to school. So they're watching American professors and learning physics that way, which is totally legitimate. But that's sort of a bias. And I guess I'm not very appealing to the Indians. But anyway, so your premise is, again, just absolute rubbish, that the lack of interest in my videos isn't consistent with a lack of interest of any conversation about physics that has anything called a dissident point of view. They all get no views. Anyone who is against the majority will not get heard, seen, noticed. Because nobody's interested in watching a high school dropout. Again, I didn't drop out of high school, not even close. I did very well, actually, top 5th in my class, and I didn't even go, and I never took a book home. So without even trying, I did better than half the people in my high school, and I wasn't even trying. So again, wrong. Let's see, egomaniac. Yes, so what? Again, isn't that just totally irrelevant? Yes. Do I make arguments and ask you simple questions like, how does a lens that's exactly the wrong shape focus light for gravitational lensing? Why don't you answer the simple question? I mean, it's not a hard question, not complicated. The lens is the wrong shape to focus and magnify light. How do you explain the images in that true context? It mechanically can't possibly work, your lensing theory. So why don't you explain to me why it's okay that it can't possibly work? Draw kindergarten doodles. Well, drawings like anybody else's doodles. I could call Feynman's doodles kindergarten doodles. That's easy to do, right? So I just call Feynman diagrams kindergarten doodles. It's so easy to do. Bullshit. Non-argument again. And call the real physicists. So this sentence won't make any sense. Run-on sentence. You didn't obviously do very well in high school either, because you didn't understand what a run-on sentence is. Kindergarten doodles, and call that real physicist, and call that real physicist is not, that's gibberish. While in incessantly talking mad shit. I don't talk any mad shit about actual science. So where's the example of the mad shit I said? Could you quote a piece of mad shit? No, of course you can't, because you're just a lying troll. You have nothing. You're defending a child molesting science, a science that's guilty as fuck of being shitty and weak. And here you are, your little head is so far up the authority ass that you can't even make an argument in their defense. You can just make this garbage argument. Your feet are too big. What does that have to do with it, Jack mucking ass? Oh, God, so bad. Care to back up the trash talk, buddy? I have backed it up with easy to answer questions that you wimps, you little pussies, can't answer. You little intellectual pussies are afraid of the questions. Not one answer on the questions videos. Not one comment answering the fucking questions. You lame little pussies. Where's your groundbreaking paper? Well, I wrote a paper that's similar to what's on the website. So it's at, draftphysics.com, jackass. Yeah, I thought so. So again, what argument did you just make? I didn't write anything. Of course, I did write something. And clearly, as I pointed it out, it's almost redundant to write something when you're making the argument in person in a lecture. Does anybody read a lecture that they actually saw performed? Would there be any point? I don't think so. I thought so. I don't think so, would be my response to your rubbish rhetoric again. And why are you mocking those crazy nuts? So again, he puts crazy nuts in quotes as if that's where it's the title of my paper, or that the dominant thing I've said is, oh, the physicists are crazy nuts, when it's not the argument being made. I've made the argument that their evidence is weak. Why don't you put that in there? Those people with weak evidence. Yes, I'm mocking people with weak evidence who claim they've proven something. That's mockable, asshole. It's deserving of a mock, asshole. You are a kook, says you. You're a scum, a lying scum. Just like them, so whatever that means, and belong in the same bin with the flat earther. So again, every theory is the same. Every attack on your precious whatever it is the same, and you can't make a distinction. And so you're supposed to be respected because you're incapable of making a distinction. Because one husband beats his wife, all husbands beat their wives. Is that your logic, retard? Apparently. You don't have much to offer outside of philosophy. So again, this nonsense that, again, philosophy or physics or anything called science should be anything else but based on valid and reasonable arguments made in defense of something. I make valid and reasonable arguments as in defense of things. And some of the arguments I make are for the mechanical understanding, modeling our mechanical reality, the physics we live in. And then the other arguments are ones about the value sphere, the moral, as Sam Harris called it. What did he call it? The moral territory? I don't know, whatever it is. Little catchy phrase. But yes, there are value equations and there are physics equations, and they both need to be scrutinized. And considering the fact that this video is number whatever, who cares, in which you repeat the same fucking shit. It's never the same fucking shit. It's similar ideas said in different ways to convey understanding the best way somebody can. I mean, if you happen to know a truth, right, you walk over a hill. This is an analogy I've used before, but it's worth making because it's a good analogy. You walk over a hill and you see a whole bunch of food, wheat in little packages, all cooked in bread or something. It's loaves of bread. And then there's a bunch of starving people on the other side of the hill. And you're trying to explain to them, look, just walk up the hill and over the other side, and there's a bunch of food. You don't have to starve anymore. And they're not getting it. And so you're like, What, do I have to explain food to you? Oh, look, it's food. That means your nourishment. You won't be starving. That means your bellies won't be fat, and you won't be tired and all the time, and you won't die, and all that kind of stuff. Food. Right over there. So you try to find some other way to explain to them. Look, it's really easy. So you have to be redundant because the end is an obvious end, and you're just trying to say what's holding these assholes up. What's their problem? Why can't they get it? It's the speed of force, for example. All the forces move the same speed, yet we still call it the speed of light. Well, it's not the speed of light. It's the speed of gravity, the speed of magnetism, the speed of the strong nuclear force. Why don't we just admit, hey, it's the speed of force? There's something wrong with saying that? Oh, offensive I am. Asshole. You read the same fucking shit you're saying since the beginning. You aren't producing anything new philosophically either. Well, yes, I would agree. There's nothing new once you understand that we're programmed robots, that we do intelligence. That is, over time, we organize facts and we do learn the truth, but we're doing it really slowly, and too many of us are way too dumb to get it. And idiocracy is taking over because the idiots are the one raising kids now. So that's a real problem. Talk about insufficiently efficient. So somehow I'm insufficiently efficient in making a point or an argument. Fine, then I guess somebody else who's more efficient will have to do it then, won't they? I'm not performing well enough by your standards. Ooh, yeah. What am I going to do? Oh, what a shock. And probably I'm not performing well enough because I'm wasting my time responding to trolls like you, and I really shouldn't. All right, 10 years. So again, you're just being redundant. Daily rants, they're not daily anymore. With fuck all the show for it. And again, what would be the showing for it? Exactly. Obviously it's a difficult argument for people. It hits them where they live, so to speak, with all their own little desires, and they're basically saying they're not allowed to impose suffering, and they're not allowed to do this, and they're not allowed to be reckless, and they're not allowed to be slobs, and they don't want to hear any of that. And that's my fault. I mean, amazing. And I could just point to all the other characters who have attempted to argue something challenging, like Kevorkian. At least I didn't end up in prison yet. And last but not least, without the fucking cunts, as you so callously call people, yes, I have anger and frustration, and sometimes I release it in these non-violent ways. Yes. Taking time out of the day to listen to your repetitive ramblings, you have no meaning at all in your stinky, miserable life. So again, I obviously have plenty of all of that stuff. I have plenty of ambition and purpose and function. So that's completely untrue. You're just arguing that somehow I'm not a productive character because you think productive would be fighting for the system and defending the way things are, and the status quo is so cool and we should all defend it. So anyway, you ungrateful, arrogant bastard. I should be grateful for exactly what? What do I have an obligation to be grateful for except things not being worse? Oh, I could have been born in Bangladesh, and therefore I would really be in big trouble. And therefore I should just sit around all day going, oh, I'm so glad I'm not born in Bangladesh. I'm so glad I wasn't born in Bangladesh. And I should make videos about how glad I am not to be born in Bangladesh. And that's all I should say for the rest of my life. Fuck you. Take YouTube away from you and you'll have nothing to do. Nothing to do. So again, this guy thinks I would have nothing to do when I was doing essentially the same thing when I didn't have YouTube, except you did it in writing and you had to pay the postage to send it to people. But that's exactly what I was doing. I would write up 2 or 3 page news articles and mail it to people, okay, making arguments about the right to die and the rights of animals, and the economy. The three subjects actually, and I had to pay for it. I had to put stamps on every one of the envelopes. So yes, with YouTube, I just have to go back to the old ways. That's all. So again, a meaningless argument to do, and of course I have lots of other things to do. I have lots of other interests to do, but rot away in your hermit cave while jerking off. Well, that's certainly not a bad thing. So again, you're going to argue to somebody, hey, here's a hermit cave where you can jerk off. The big screen porn. What? That's a negative thing? I'm supposed to be, I'm afraid I might end up in a hermit cave jerking off. Oh, what a horror. Oh, no, that sort of sounds cool. Jerking off on camera. Oh, why not? I don't know why I don't have YouTube if I have a camera, but okay. To the delight of your minions. Yes, fine. If it makes somebody happy, fine. If it doesn't, fine. It's really just free stuff, right? So the free stuff, if you can use it, fine. If you can't use it, throw it in the garbage. Who cares? And you're complaining. I give you free, and you're complaining. And you're not a cunt. Somebody shouldn't call you a fucking cunt. No, I think somebody should call you a fucking cunt. You're paying nothing. You're doing nothing. You're not struggling with these issues and struggling to try to make arguments. Obviously, you're not doing any work to make a counter argument to anything I say whatsoever. And I'm doing all the work. And, you're the one complaining. Amazing. But you're a typical example of the naysaying, nitpicking motherfucker that I've pointed out is exactly deserving of the title cunt. Because yes, most of the people that gets one thing, they don't get the rest of it. They don't get enough. The reliability of the average person's intelligence isn't very high. They can get one thing right and then get 99 things wrong. And so we all say, oh, he's on my side when he's got something right. But just wait, because it's going to show up that now he doesn't have a clue what's going on because he's got everything else the fuck wrong. And that's our reality. Douche. All right, see what kind of chat there was while I was diatribing. So then I can catch up. Hello, no, we already did that. Yeah, it's boring. We're boring. Yes, you are. I'm not boring or useless. I have 4 orphan ducklings napping next to me. Well, that's just a little bit silly, but fine. Again, they're just dinosaurs, with cuter feathers, but whatever. W-A-T. I don't know what that means. So obviously an idiot from Canada, no doubt. Got harassed by a cop the other day. Was really inconvenient. Yes, cops are dangerous. You just never know what you're going to get. Edumacated is a Simpson reference. It's funny. Yes, I've heard the word edumacated. That wasn't what I was talking about, retard. So you're really, really stupid because you don't even get what my criticism wasn't. We're used to the word edumacated. And the Simpsons do come up with some good ones, like the couple of words they put the word on in front of, and they're quite funny. What the hell is it? Oh, I can't remember it. I grow tomatoes like a god. Well, that's really not terribly interesting. I had something I wanted to ask you earlier today, but completely forgot what it is now. So you people really, so again, this idiot's arguing that somehow I'm making a mistake by insulting these people. Oh, please. Homer talks like this, saxophone. Yes, we know that. You're really not being, you're being insanely redundant. Trump squirting ADN, spitting at CNN as we exit reality and go it alone. I don't know what that even means, or whatever. Being an extremist, you have all your ducks in a row. They literally line up and follow each other. It's adorable. Ever. Oh my God, that's so cute. Oh dear. It really is. Everything about ducklings is cute. Well, that shit that comes out of their asses and all that fucking cute, but whatever. One of them was out in a busy intersection. He's lucky he was saved. Yes, once a mallard duck got run over right in front of me. I'm sitting there standing on the sidewalk with some Russian kid. He was fishing off the bridge, and I was talking to him. And we're talking about the duck, and it was just crossing it to the stream. And this crazy old lady, right, probably just blind, and she just drives anyway, just 40 miles an hour, just plows right into the duck, just whacks it. And so then there's 10 of these little fuckers running all over the shit place. So I spend the next 5 hours, going quack, 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 trying to get the little things to go peep, 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 so I could catch them. And, did finally get them all. And this avian people showed up and took them, thank goodness, because I really didn't want to take care of ducks. But it was really just, I buried the mother and shit, but it was just hard. I mean, she died right, I'm holding her, and she, still bleeding and gushing, but she didn't stand a chance. It lasted about 60 seconds and it was over. Anyway, just horrible. Just throwing a little anecdotal story. Everything ends tragically, all this cute shit. It's just, you shouldn't focus on the cute, because you're just setting people up for the horror, because they all die and it's all horrible and it just sucks. Anyway, live is such a treat. Oh, I don't know about that. Would you debate? No, I don't want to debate. People are just idiots. Calmeth Bob. I don't know who that is. It's a silly name. Calmeth Bob. I don't know. On the ideology of Buddhism. There's nothing to argue about Buddhism. It's stupid. Oh, go ahead. Will you go ahead and invite him to have a conversation about the silly talking to death story of Buddhism, okay? Because it's just another silly fucking religion. Oh, I recognize the inequity in the world. I recognize the suffering, blah, 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 blah. And I talk to death, and he gives me the great answer, which is jump into a fire, and then you don't have to come back, which is unbelievable as a story. I mean, oh, yeah, sure, I don't have to come back. Well, I know I'm not coming back anyway. It doesn't work that way. You, knowing who you are, don't get to come back. You come back as some kid born in fucking Indonesia, and you end up just, struggling and being tormented. Fucking idiots. Buddhists suck. Oh, life is suffering. Let's have 10 kids. Fuck them all. There's nothing dumber than some asshole who pretends to know what's going on. And they're just pretending. They don't have a fucking clue. Let's see. Where was that idiotic comment? Oh, there it is. All right, then a bunch of stupid fucking flamanges. I don't know what that shit is for. Big fan, whatever. Big fan for a big fat ass, I guess. Got to fan your fat ass or whatever. Oh, fuck that. What is Buddhism? No, Bobism Norris. What? Can you people please make some kind of sense? Please? People adopt axioms from aphorism vocabulary. No, voluntarily. The whole word axioms is just stupid. You adopt a fact. Facts. There's facts and there's fantasies. That's all there are. Facts and fantasies. There's no axiom. There is nothing to show. This kid needs to learn philosophy. Well, you can just fuck yourself till dead, you little creepy fuck. It bothers me how people can't understand passion. Well, I don't understand it, frankly. Some of it's kind of seems a little bit incoherent and stupid. No, I jumped too far ahead. Let's see. Where were we? Bothers me if people understand passion. Okay. That would be an interesting series. I don't know what that means. I'm glad I don't live in Bangladesh. There, somebody got it right. Daniel Bobism is too advanced for somebody with your primitive intellectual level. Oh, okay, Nora. So Buddhism is trollism. Gotcha. Yeah, it's crap. Yeah, plus decomp is good for the soil. Well, says you. It makes a little acid to start, frankly. Yeah, forced to live in Bangladesh would suck beyond words. Logan Brake is really mouthing off about you. Who cares? He's a fucking clown. He's a little wigger, and I think it's appropriate to use that word for white people who know white people who notice that there's some kind of cultural degradation, that there's people who just don't behave properly. And then they imitate the improper behavior. I mean, it's just so fucking funny. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, I wonder, does he let his pants fall down when he walks down the street too? What a turd. I mean, it's a ridiculous turd. Then it's like, damn, if I was living in Syria, Bangladesh would seem nice. Well, there's no point in doing all this crap. I don't think Bangladesh is going to be nicer than Syria, frankly. Bangladesh probably, just on the face of it, probably smells worse. Daniel, it was a personal insult. People study Buddhism for generations. There's nothing to study. It's a silly, idiotic, it has no resolution. It's a story with no ending. They don't even do the proper fable where they say, and they lived happily ever after. The fable is they figured out that life is shit, and then they made more of it for no good reason except they're ignorant cunts. I mean, it's a stupid story. It's a story of people who have failed dismally. It is not the story of the successful human philosophy. No, it's the way to kill children. You want to murder some kids? Become a Buddhist. It's child molesting. Yeah, it's not success, you idiot. It's the exact opposite of success. Okay. I wasn't personal. When people study, they don't study shit. They're idiots. They read what other people say and go, oh, I'm going to stick my head up his ass. Logan Blake is a clown. Yes, I've said that. I think, what is slang for you? What are wote? I don't know. Can someone tell me why InMendham is such a petulant child? Oh, I should just block you for using the word petulant. Yes, I think I'll give you a timeout or something, right? I can do that, can I? Yes, timeout. Yeah, fuck you. You can do better than that, can't you? Don't sweat the petty things. Just pet the sweaty things. Well, that's disgusting too. So fuck, let's put that guy in a timeout. I wish you could just half kill people, like you had a little punch. It's an icon. Just so I only have to do one thing. I don't have to do 2 clicks. I have like a little punching icon where I can just like punch you in the face, and then a machete one where I can just cut your head off. Thank you for helping the ducklings. Okay, fine. I mean, you should just euthanize them. Frankly, nothing good's going to come of it. Unpossible. That's the one. Yeah, The Simpson. Unpossible. I love that one. But there's another one too. There's another one about intelligence or something. And they say that funny. But anyway, yeah, unpossible that is a great word. I love unpossible. That's unpossible. Yeah, that's just too precious. Like ducklings. Norris, if you can't understand InMendham after ? Number of videos, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, that's true. If you watch 10 of my videos and you ain't getting it, then you're never going to get it. The cute eventually melts away. You are right, Gary. Yes, it's true. And it turns into the cancer growing on its head. And that's no fun to watch. Yeah, cuteness is a nasty lure and makes horror even worse by contrast. Yeah, and when you add up the numbers again, I mean, just like my duck story, the mallard had 10 ducklings. Obviously they have a whole bunch of babies in their lifetime. They might live 10 years or something, right? So you're figuring it might end up laying 100 eggs in its lifetime. and all but 2 of them are going to get slaughtered as children. That's the odds. I mean, that's just too fucking dismal, isn't it? Yeah, cuteness is a nasty lure, and makes horror even worse by contrast. Yeah, I miss Santino. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's worth not ever knowing Santino, but I'm just saying that, pain of separation is very difficult. Let's see. A bunch of these stupid flamanges again. All right. InMendham. What's a good analogy for people to understand? I guess I might as well not have this comment window open until the volcano goes dark. Maybe we should put volcano on here. Yeah, Gary. It's always good to look at, tragedy in the making. Never mind. Okay, Gary, what's a good analogy for people who understand the concept of choice within a deterministic worldview? An analogy of understanding choice. Gee, I don't know off the top of my head. That's a really tough one. Obviously, it's a very difficult subject because we don't really choose. We just make a determination. And that's going to be based on judgment. So the only analogies I have are for the idea that free will would be a silly concept. Like there's no free place to get the will from, unless you think the freedom angel gives you a will, right? So the good angel imposes a will. Well, that wouldn't be free then, right? So if the good angel makes me do something, that's not me having free will, right? That's me having angel-controlled will. So the idea of free seems stupid because what? Free from what? Learning that 2 + 2 = 4? Well, what if I learn that 2 + 2 = 4? I'm not free anymore to decide it equals 3 or that it equals 14, right? I know it equals 4, so I'm not free anymore. So it's the opposite of free will. It's a silly notion. So I guess that's how I would have to analogize it to the fact that free would be retarded will. It couldn't possibly be a smart will, because a smart will would have to be imposed by a smart thing. And smart things, unless you think angels and demons exist, there aren't any smart things that are imposing will on you. All right, something that people can easily understand, preferably. Well, you're not going to, I mean, that's a really, Gary, give me a perfectly concise, brilliant, paragraph, that I can present to the world as the greatest paragraph ever written. Yeah, do it in a live room. I don't think so. This is funny, just roasting the commenters. Yes, sometimes it's a little bit fun, I have to admit, but it's so depressing because they all are so fucking stupid. He's got to clean the house once in a while. Yes, I decided, before I did this room, I was really 50-50. I was like, I don't really feel like it. I'm in a shitty mood. Fuck it, I'll do it some other day. And then I said, well, the other days I might want to do something else. I got to do physics, got to write some stuff. I don't feel like writing, but I got to wash my dishes and I got to clean my porch. And so I really was torn. And, but I ended up choosing, my brain decided, this is the thing to do. Get it over with. That's sort of what I was thinking, actually. Get it over with. So I can have the rest of the week to myself. All right, anyway. Axiom is a Jordan Peterson favorite. It's the favorite of all the bullshitters. That's what they all use now. I mean, obvious troll or what? Hello? Hello, obvious troll. Hello? Can you hear me? Obvious troll? Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. That's right. You're quite obvious. Say hello. Hey, obvious troll on the phone. Brilliant. Thank you. I mean, it was certainly worth a free phone call. Ooh, great contribution. Stunning. Not really. All right. He's got to claim axioms is a Jordan Peterson word for trying to distort the truth and beliefs like apologists. Yeah, well, it's just the jargon of people trying to not say a straight up argument like, yes, there's facts and there's fallacies, and I'm going to attempt to argue facts, not fallacies. I can't believe how dumb people are. Yes, they are just so fucking, I mean, every day I have to reestablish my measuring tool because it's just like, no, Gary, they're dumber than you, they're even dumber. They're even dumber than you think. Just watch Stefan Malyu saying anti-natalism is anti-white. Yes, we're not going to win the race war. If the smart people don't torture children like the dumb people, they're not going to win the race war. Oh my God. Just pathetic. It's at least, it'd at least be easier to convince a Buddhist of extinctionalism than other religious people. Well, I'm just saying there's no evidence that they have any inkling to do anything like that. They're replicating at a faster rate than the Chinese. Okay, so I'm just saying they obviously have no will to control their squalor. They will shit on their shit. Is life worth living? Now, the real point is it worth imposing? And that's the one where no, clear answer. I don't want to struggle anymore. Well, I don't want to either. But the truth is if you don't fight it now and you don't tell some prego to get an abortion, or you don't tell some would-be prego to grow the fuck up and just imagine for a minute that your goddamn Frankenstein isn't going to say thank you. Just imagine for a second your little Frankenstein monster resents what you fucking did. Will you allow him to beat you to death, you cunt? Should he be allowed to pitchfork you and burn you in a castle? Because that's what you deserve, you stupid fucking sadistic lunatic. Fuck yourself. Give birth to your fucking self and have yourself as your own fucking dumbass retarded mother. Look in the mirror. Would you want that dumb bitch to be your mother? That's what you got to do while you're here, or you're going to show up again, a little different. You'll have a size 11 and a half shoe instead of a 10 and a half shoe, but otherwise you'll be pretty much the same. It is not so. Help us clean up this shit. It's not going to clean itself up. Yes, that's right. How do I start? Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. Write a book. Everybody's telling me that book writing is the thing to do. So yes, write the book for us. There is a knife, Gary, but it's only in emote. Well, I'm not doing emoticons. Oh, but they do have a knife. Oh, well, they don't have it sticking in somebody's eye. So, I need it to be sticking in their eye. Logan Blake did a 3-part video called InMendham Debunked. Oh, amazing. Did he debunk anything I've ever said? Yeah, I don't think he did. I guess I'll have to go look. I don't know. It wouldn't really be worth it, right? Somebody would have told me by now if he made some kind of argument. There won't be an argument. I say suck all the enjoyment you can out of life. Again, at whose expense? Don't have kids. Yes, that would make sense. Don't eat animal products. Well, that helps too. And maybe adopt. Don't do that if you have the resources to take care of someone else's mistake. I don't think you can take care of them. Just, we ought to all have the right to euthanize, and we should be euthanizing things for lots of reasons. Jaywalking should be a euthanizable offense. Let's see. Craptastic. Well, that's good. Is another great word originating from The Simpsons. Yes, I like that one. Okay. I have to see that. I'm glad you choose us. I don't know what that means. Do you, or have you should put another comment. Another comma. Drank alcohol sometimes. Yeah, I drunkificated some alcohol. Especially in my youth, I did drink. It was just a period, But yeah, I drink now and then. I have a shot, just to clear the sinuses. I don't really like being drunk. Much rather be stoned than drunk. And I'd rather not be either one of them, frankly. I don't really have much interest in altered states because as you get older, your states get altered without you even getting high. And it's disturbing enough, just how wooey the world gets as you get older. Everything starts to, hey, everything's moving. And so you don't need any help moving things. No help at all. Anyway, that ringtone, whatever that, yeah, so it's a ringtone, right? It's on the phone. I didn't invent it. If you don't dumb down the message, fuck you, it's a wrong premise, then you run the risk of not conveying the substance evidence means. Yeah, well, whatever. It's like riding a bicycle. If you're gonna learn how to ride it wrong, then you're probably gonna fail and drive into a car. So if you're gonna do anything right, do it right. Don't do it wrong. I love when you make videos mocking Molinex. He's such a fucking con man. Yeah, well, everybody's a piece of shit. Every time I interact with a pregnant woman, I get physically angry. Yeah, I get nauseous. It's just disgusting. I want to throw up on her prego. Yeah, just disgusting. Retard InMendham doesn't know the difference between Bobism and Buddhism. Yes, I couldn't give a fuck about something called Bobism. That just sounds too fucking stupid. Some YouTuber, who the fuck names a philosophy Bobism? Bob, no doubt. Shit. Some YouTuber named Echo Mal made a response video to you for hating on nature. Well, again, if he made an argument, then somebody could please, they could have posted a link in the comments section. Hey, Gary, this is an important argument being made. But I don't go watching all this shit by any casual asshole. How do you choose which videos to respond to? Well, I guess apparently there's a bunch of them I haven't responded to because I didn't know they existed. So I guess I should choose better. I used to search on InMendham, but the results come up all bullshit. But maybe I'll do that again. Given the huge amount of liars, right-wing exploitonists, and buffoons on YouTube, W. I don't know what that means. English isn't my first language, sorry. Well, I don't know if that's an excuse for anything, but okay. No, Logan Blake didn't have an argument. I guess he did the videos because he's still shell-shocked from the beating you gave him. Well, whatever. I don't know if I even did that because there wasn't any grounds for a proper fight. I couldn't knock him out because he didn't say anything. He just kept saying, "How do you prove there's no God?" I prove it by making a logical argument that the belief is retarded. That only a retard would believe in one. Anyway. Calamath Bob, well, this means a lot to me in some way, has done more to relieve suffering than you and your pathetic philosophy ever will. So again, I'm supposed to know who this fucking weirdo is. So let me write it down so I can go find a video by the Calamath Bob and rip it to fucking shreds. It'll be fun. Yeah, Bobism. Jordan Petersonism, no doubt. If you could eat one human, who would it be? Oh, I'd love to eat Donald Trump's eyeballs. After he stuck a machete in his hand. But anyway, you got to eat the people you hate just for fun. Do you think Freely the Banana Girl is hot? Well, she was the last time I saw her, like 7 years ago or something. But she looks perky. Also, you have never graduated from high school. So again, this is just somebody's telling me I never graduated from high school, but I know I graduated. I didn't go to the ceremony, but I did get the diploma thing in the little, book. Says I graduated. Fucking idiots. So who do you think you are to lecture people on things like physics when you haven't? Well, again, what would the difference be whether I graduated high school or not? Well, how would it make a fucking difference? The argument is the argument. I'm not preaching at them. I'm making an argument. They can either counter it or they can't, and clearly they can't. So far I'm winning because they don't have a counter argument. Gee. So again, this idiotic nonsense that I haven't graduated from high school when I did it without even trying. I did better than half the people in my high school, and I didn't try. I had over 400 cut slips. 400 in my senior year. 400 cut slips. They were right on the vice principal's desk. 2 piles, cut slips, 400 of them, and they still graduated me. Because I told them I couldn't give a fuck. They threatened me and said, you have to go to summer school and do these. You didn't go to gym for a year and a half. I said, go ahead. Don't give me a diploma. You think I care? I have a job. I didn't need it for that. I didn't need a diploma to get a job. So I guess fuck it. Who cares? And they basically said, oh, okay, well, I might as well give them a diploma because it's not going to look good if we fail them for no good reason. They're stupid. So, I mean, I just, the last 2 years of high school, I barely even went because I started going a little nutty neurologically. I couldn't stand being in the closed spaces and the hallways and all that shit. So I barely went. And I still graduated the top 5th of my class. And I barely went. And this guy's calling me a high school dropout. I mean, so liars. You're just such fucking liars. Anyway. Calamouth Bob is a video game character from Fallout, I think. Oh, that's just too interesting. And he has a whole philosophy. Isn't that swell? I hate this world. I've been watching your content for years. How do you have the motivation to keep arguing with retards? I don't have the motivation. It's clear I don't have any motivation. That's why I haven't been doing it. It's because I find it repulsive and unpleasant. It gurgles my insides to even think about having to interact with human beings. They make me vomit. But the motivation is fear. I've said it before. Just absolute horror at the prospect that I'm going to die and then I'm going to wake up in Bangladesh. That scares the fuck out of me. I mean, I'll wake up as some freaking woman who weighs 438 pounds and is fucking dressed in spandex and hootering down the road saying, look how hot I is. That scares the fuck out of me. I mean, worse than being a homicidal pedophile is being one of these people who have this insanely exaggerated perception of themselves, like one of these people who think they're the reincarnation of Cleopatra or something. That scares the fuck out of me. Being one of these preposterous imbeciles, like a flat earther or something. Oh, fuck, I'm a flat earther. I mean, that's a fucking scary prospect. Anyway, I looked Calamouth Bob up and it was a video game character. Okay, so we already heard of that, but yes, so great. It's just trolls. People troll philosophy now with fucking video game characters. I hate this world. Gary, I was just curious. What do you think about the whole notion that it was somehow justified for assholes to vote for Trump because they are hurting economically? Well, again, how does voting for Trump going to help you economically? Obviously, he's not going to fix immigration, so that's a lie. He'll never get rid of enough foreigners to drive wages up, so that'll never happen, clearly. And we know he was going to give he was not going to fix the tax code. He was going to break it worse, and exactly what he did. I mean, he wants to make the world very good for people who inherit money to keep owning the world. I mean, he's a white master, and we're all the darkies, and we don't deserve anything, and they deserve everything because they've earned it by being born to it. I mean, he called his son Baron for a fucking sake. I mean, it's just such an obvious statement, basically saying, I don't even understand that barons are bad things. All right. Jesus Christ. I hate it when I get boners because it feels like my biology is, well, if you hate it, you're not doing it right. Trick me into being happy with life for a moment. Yeah, well, I still don't see it's worth hating for that. You get a little bit of, a little bit of a vacation. You get to go to Paradise Island for a few seconds. I wouldn't complain about it, jackass. Yeah, I didn't go to the ceremony either. I don't know. Oh, yes, the graduation thing. Yeah, just yeah. What human sacrifice? I mean, even just that robe thing is so fucking gay, and that silly hat. They sent that shit, and I'm like, I'm not wearing this. Who the fuck's wearing this shit? I'm not wearing this shit. I'm a grown person. I don't have to wear this crap. Maybe you can do that to me when I'm 6 in some sort of church pageant, but I ain't doing it as fuck you. I got a car. I'm going. I'm gone. Fuck you. I'm going somewhere where I don't have to wear silly dresses. So stupid. Was human sacrifice a good idea in theory? Well, no. I mean, you should be sacrificing the shitty people. So if you were throwing retards in a volcano, that would make sense. Throwing the damn virgins in the volcano, that's fucking retarded. Throw the criminals in the volcano. Yeah. The Republicans. Throw the rich in the volcano. Mick B, that was what Google says, some redneck-looking Fallout character. Okay, so they're still obsessing over the Bobism. Let's see, knowledgeism. Okay, whatever. Why are otherwise intelligent people so reluctant to accept anti-natalism? How many times have you heard the "but life is pretty tough" excuse? Well, how many times do they concede that life is horrible? Jordan Peterson does it. Yeah, I know life is horrible. And it's terrible. And it's awfully unfair. And it's terrible. You're born with your fucking arm, glued to your forehead, or you're born with your brother. His head is glued to your kneecap, and we can't separate you. And you have to spend the rest of the life like his head's on your kneecap and your head's on his kneecap. Oh yeah, life is horrible, horrible, horrible. You can't stop making more of it though, because I'm here and I'm really special, and you're all happy I'm here, right? Because I'm like Barney the dinosaur. Everything's okay. Clean your room there, fella. Fuck that cunt. Badly, not like in a fun way. Anyway, if we were excused, let's see, how many times have you heard but like, oh yeah, we did that. Okay. If we extinct ourselves, so, I mean, you can't extinct yourself, you extinct your progeny. Who is going to protect eventual upcoming life? Well, again, you don't understand this philosophy at all. The whole point would be is to exterminate, to sanitize. You get a bottle of Mr. Clean and you pour it on the planet Earth, and all the little microbes die. You're just so fucking stupid. There's no life on Mars. I don't know whether you've noticed that. And Pluto and Uranus and all these other places. No life. So it's really easy to make it uninhabitable. So reincarnation, there's always a form of it, idiot. If you don't get that, then you're just really stupid. But there's people who are, we're not 1 in a million or 1 in 7 billion. We fit into categories, and the philosophical category of a troubled youth and a sensitive disposition, and like you get seasick and you get this and you get that. You can like match things with other people, and so there could be like 50 little things, and you say, oh look, all 50 of our things match, and it makes you very similar. You don't get the idea that it's very similar and it's the same conscious experience. We're just, I mean, you wouldn't do this about ducks or cats or dogs or frogs. You wouldn't sit there and say there's no reincarnation, when of course there sort of is. I mean, almost every golden retriever is the same dog. I mean, they all have such a similar personality that it's almost like it's all the same dog. Fucking idiots. They just can't get this simple concept. It's not an actual reincarnation. It's just a animation of a very similar Frankenstein monster. He has the same flat head, the same little fucking bad haircut, the same greeny skin, same little nodes on his, except there's nodes, there's one in the front and one in the back instead of on the sides, you know, little differences, not really important. But you fuckers can't, it's too complicated. Not literally, but it might as well be reincarnation. Yes, but he won't get that, but they're idiots. We suffer the same, exactly. We experience the same cognitive dissonance in looking at the world and saying, oh, this doesn't look right at all. I and many others are soul bounders, whatever that is, and we have connected with Bob's spirit and have received his philosophy. If you object to this, I could show evidence of my contact with him. Yes, I think you're an idiot and you could troll and a fucking retard and you should die soon because you're really too stupid for life. You're too stupid to waste neurons. You have neurons that think you're in communication. You're just too, you're a sick motherfucker. Be sick somewhere else. You know, fart in somebody else's room. What if you came back as Anacondavod's baby? Again, just a horror. His little kid is what, 3 or 4 by now? Oh man, imagine growing up with that shithead. You know, it's just, you know, yeah, oh. The future is not going to be pretty. Yeah, it's not, unfortunately. Blast beats, what do you mean? Whatever that is. It is truly possible for bad people to believe they are harmful and continue to do and continue on with it anyways. There is a willful compromise between intellect and self-honesty. There's no compromise. There's no anything. You either understand or you don't understand, period. I don't hate it while I'm wanking, but afterwards, well, you don't have to keep, you don't have to get into the details, but yes, a little bit depressing. Did you ever meet with Benatar? Well, I don't know why he doesn't meet with anybody. Why would he particularly meet with me? But anyway. He doesn't travel. I don't know if he's ever even been in the United States. Do you realize rich people are necessary for civilization, dummy? Yeah, again, how are they necessary? What do they make exactly? They steal, they take, they don't create. Do you really think if I killed all the billionaires tomorrow, that somehow all the businesses would fail, nobody would be able to do their job anymore, all the productivity would just disappear, all the guys putting electric lines up and all the guys building dams or all the guys paving the roads, none of them could do their job anymore because there aren't rich people anymore? No, all of us would be free of their burden, their debt burden they've imposed on us, their ownership. They're collecting receipts that say, I own your shirt and I own your pants. I own everything you have. And they're of absolutely no value whatsoever. They're absolutely unproductive scum who just consume, preposterous consumption. They waste resources. They waste other people's labor, manicuring their toes and doing this and doing that. Instead of building a Hoover Dam, instead we're spending, we're having a whole bunch of people dust and clean and do all this crap in their silly mansions that they never even live in. Fuck you, you Richie the Defender. You're such a scuzzy piece of crap. Ugh, quantum fuck you, he calls himself. So it's not an obvious troll. I mean, he's just clearly just an InMendham troll, so I don't feel bad about blocking that. All right, you said, he just created the channel for the sake of trolling InMendham. You said you used to masturbate a lot. Well, whatever. It's not a proper subject, but whatever. I still do. When I did that change for you? When did that change for you? Well, I don't know. It just progressively changes. When you're young, you do a lot of things faster and better, and you get older, it slows down a little. But it's it's not that big a change. Whatever. And did that contribute to your leaps in philosophy? No, you're really weird. really strange question. Know-it-allism. Know-it-allism? Know-it-allism. Oh, okay. Know-it-allism. Yes, I have that for sure. Because I do actually know so much more than you idiots that it's easy to call me Mr. Know-it-all. I mean, I obviously don't know it all, but compared to you people, I know it all. Sounds like dogma. What does? Jordan Peterson is on. Jordan Peterson is on. There's no such thing as an all red meat diet. So in the first place, there's no such thing. His daughter turned him onto it. I thought it was common knowledge that too much red meat is bad for you. Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't seen his daughter. Is she fat or something? I mean, why would you have it? Why would you have an all red meat diet? I mean, it's just such a stupid thing to do. I mean, just for the hormones alone. I mean, of all the meat products, red meat is obviously the most full of horrible hormones. I mean, why would you mess with that? The dude's 55 years old. And he looks like he's going on 70. Well, yeah, it's obviously not much has done him much good. He looks like a woman, so he's probably full of fucking cow estrogen. Fucking idiot. What is he listening to his daughter for? Here's some male health tips for you, Daddy, from a girl. Yeah, girls know everything. It's like the gay guys dressing women, which is hilarious, right? Because they dress them so they look ridiculous, you know. They just, they have no clue what a sexy woman looks like. So they put them in culottes and pants that go 3/4 down their leg and kind of other preposterous shit, gay clothes. Just, make the woman look as stupid as possible. It's just hilarious, and then we got girls telling some 55-year-old man how to fucking eat. It's just retarded. I think for many, they can't get over the delusion that, I mean, it is just so gratuitous. Like I said, even if I was a meat eater, I wouldn't be stupid enough to say, this is a great healthy food. I mean, I would be smart enough to know, no, it's like potato chips. It might taste good. It might be fun to eat, but I know this isn't the best thing I could eat. I mean, shit, I know that, the apple a day thing would be a good idea, and I should eat the fruits and the other stuff, the vegetables. I mean, this is a no-brainer. I would know that if somebody's selling me on the, oh, yeah, you'll live forever if you eat a bunch of red meat. I mean, I know that would be horse shit. Even if I was a meat eater. I think for many, they can't get over the delusion that just because something is part of nature, it doesn't make it good. And it's not even part of nature. Again, it's another point that's just so stupid. Because we didn't eat meat. We're not biologically capable of eating raw fucking red meat. When they introduced steak tartare, red beef in America, it was introduced as a weight loss program because whoever ate it just shit it all out, so they didn't gain any weight. It was a way to lose weight, was to eat raw beef. Fuck. Look at that lion killing the baby zebra. Life is so wonderful. Well, anyway, but they're not the same person. I don't know what that means. At the end, Jordan Peterson's book, he actually said the king of the damned is not a valid judge of being. Well, like that even means anything to a rational person? I couldn't even make sense. The king of the damned, blah, 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 blah. Whatever that means. As if only optimist perception counts in logic. Well, yes, he is a fucktard. I mean, clearly the testimony of the people who died in a war would be really interesting in the war trial. It'd be very interesting to get all the testimony of all the 17-year-old kids who got killed in horrible ways, and at least have them testify that, yeah, no, I don't think the war was a good idea. It really ruined my sex life, and yeah, it wasn't very good. I think that testimony would be important. Now, yes, you don't decide the whole question based on their testimony, but it'd be good to listen to it. What would you do if Anaconda moved next to you? Well, we would probably have some problems. We probably would be, it would have to come to fisticuffs, probably. Yeah. Jeez, we throwing garbage at each other's lawn and doing all kinds of sneaky stuff. I don't think we can post links on YouTube videos in the chat. Yes, you can't unless I make you some kind of wrench person. It's stupid, but whatever. InMendham is a coward who is afraid of us soul bounders. Yes, I'm afraid of soul bounders, right? I'm just afraid of the flat earth kookers and all the other little kookers who think they're special. I'm Hitler reincarnated because he knows he lacks the spiritual strength to contact the holy Bob. Yes, whatever, the holy religious kooks. Did I do the right thing or the wrong thing? I think I just fucking did the wrong thing. No, I said hide user. Yeah, I did the right thing. A lot of people are turning to apparently Benatar. Oh, here we go. I'm missing something. Apparently, Benatar attended a public anti-natalist conference in Prague. It wasn't really much of a conference. It was some sort of meetup, but yes, with other philosophers. Anyway, so who cares? What's your point? I mean, I'm just saying Benatar isn't exactly a guy who goes to a lot of places and said, "Hi, I'm David Benatar." He doesn't do that. Is dumb being the world, the word we were looking for from The Simpsons. Dumbling. No. It had in it, an intelligent or something. That's unintelligent. No, that's it was one of those words. An in some kind of word. A lot of people are turning to raw, whatever that is, paleo diet, raw meat, eggs, dairy. Probably it's going to die from parasites. Yeah, they'll get what they deserve. I mean, people have all kinds of wacky diets, frankly, and so what? Let them do what they're going to do. I mean, there's, what the fuck do I care? Statistically, it's already kind of been demonstrated that doesn't work. So, the less red meat you eat, the better, the longer you live. It's statistically kind of been already proven. So there's no real question here. What is your response to consciousness is not material? Well, of course it isn't material. I mean, the thing itself, consciousness, isn't material. Obviously, the brain that's producing it is material. It's a real projector, and it projects consciousness on an invisible screen in our imagination. Our feelings aren't a real thing. They're made by a real thing. They're just an illusion created in a factory that creates illusions. But it's one hell of a fucking illusion. And since value is locked in the context, can affect the universe outside of itself in a net negative sum ultimately. I don't know what all that crap means, but okay. Do you think living under a dictator that was benevolent is better than a democratic republic? Well, yes, if you can guarantee that the benevolent dictator isn't an idiot. I mean, being a nice guy doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to... I mean, Piro as the dictator would be a fucking nightmare because he'd do everything. He'd have all these silly ideas. I can rub two unicorns together and that'll make enough electricity to power New York City. Yeah, some stupid thing. What the hell was this? Where did I get backwards here? Anyway, I know since consciousness is in our entire context, it makes intuitive sense to take it seriously. Well, I'm just saying, if you can't take your own feelings seriously, you're really fucking too stupid for words. I've heard you say something like, it is one hell of an illusion before. A technical question. I mean, what the fuck do you need to... What? You personally experience it and you don't understand how... Well, nobody could discount this thing. It's happening. There's no doubt about it. Do not make a whole bunch of these things being tortured in space because it would be a really bad idea. I don't have any question. No doubt about it at all. 100% certain. Not a good idea to create these torture feelings. Whatever. Throwback to the volcano wrench stream. I don't know what that means. What do you think about Professor Anton? Well, I liked Corey as a person. We got along as people in sort of a way, but yes, we diverge philosophically in a fundamental respect. He's a bit of a nature lover, and that's, that just don't work for me. A nature apologist, let's say it that way. Skeptic, do you not watch Gary's videos? He has done a bunch of videos on Anton and has done a dialogue with him. Yes, more than one. We had a couple of conversations. Rich people get rich by investing. No, they don't. It's just it's a silly argument. They get rich by exploiting, by taking advantage through usury. Ugh. Taking risks. What risk is there? What risk is there when you get to deduct your losses and you get to keep your gains? Explain the risk to me. How can I possibly lose if I get to deduct all my losses and I get to keep my gains? How can I lose? Because as soon as I have some gains, I won't pay any taxes. So I'll double my gains. The gains will be twice as valuable because I won't pay any taxes until I've made up my losses. How is that a risk? Explain how there's any risk involved at all. To make big shit important for civilization to happen. Well, this isn't how it works, and it doesn't have to work that way. We can invest in each other. We don't need the rich people to do it. The rich are just a middleman. Again, answer the simple question. Do you really think if I killed all the billionaires tomorrow, all of them are dead, the companies still exist, and let's just say all of their assets will go to public ownership? So the public now owns all of the stuff the billionaires owned. You really think the world just crumbles? Everybody just falls apart. Nothing can work anymore. They can't make Cheetos anymore because the rich died. You're an idiot. A fucking idiot. We all pay no taxes because now we own all the industry. We pay zero taxes. And we're going to have 3 times the income if the rich are dead. 3 times. Your income is tripled, at least, if the rich are dead. The rich are the most useful welfare fucking whores in the universe. One rich person is like 1 million welfare whores in terms of their unproductivity. You have no clue how economics works. No, you have no clue. And you'd have no answer to my question. How exactly does the world fall apart if all the rich people are dead? All right. Survivor's bias plus Stockholm syndrome, a problem. I don't even know what that means. Who cares? I mean, I know what Stockholm syndrome is, but why should I care about this survivor's bias? Whatever the fuck that is. You think everyone is rich via inheritance. No, I don't think I'm just pointing out how that's where most of the wealth is. Okay, 99% of it is in the hands of people who didn't do a single day's work to own it. They didn't earn any of it. That's the fact. The stocks aren't, the stock exchange is not owned by self-made billionaires. No, it's owned by their progeny. The Rockefellers, the Kennedys, the Bermenbergs, the Blumenhubes, they're the ones who inherited it. There's still money from 300-year-old gold cornering of the market. There's that money still in the world. The money from the southern plantations where the slaves were owned, that wealth is still owned by people. You fucking idiot. They didn't earn any of it. God, you're just such a dumb cunt. Get your facts right, fuckhead. All right. Let's see. Unblow-upable versus unface-upable. Well, whatever. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what any of this. I can't read what you people write. Ecamol, beat you. Fuck you. I don't think so. That's not how it works. Quantum. I just throws it in there. Some of them get rich that way. Oh, so again, it was this person with quantum fuck you in the ass. So again, he should just be blocked for a screen name. I got to remember to read names next time. The rest get rich by fooling people into investing in nonsense because they walk away with the booty. Well, I'm just saying they don't produce anything productive. So I'm just saying if the rich do make money, they don't make it making penicillin. Okay, they make Rubik's Cubes or something. They make some kind of toy. They're not giving us anything useful. Steve Jobs stole everything. I mean, for fuck's sake. I know you're against religion, but wouldn't you prefer creating a pro something else religion centered? No, I don't want to have any. I have no interest in religion at all. Nothing dogmatic. If you can't understand logic and facts, then you can't play with me. Hey man, I remember your fights with Fake Sag in good times. Well, whatever. I don't think they were all that good, but whatever. I believe 3 things. I don't know what this Martians over time, whatever it is. The golden rule is technically implementable as a bias for a law system. Who cares what you think? You're not really interesting. You know that? Inheritance is letting the team start a game with extra points and then claiming I'm playing fairly. Well, it's a lot worse than that. It's a lot more than extra points. What do you think are productive ways you can disseminate Euphemism and anti-natal? I don't know. Obviously, I'd be doing them if I had some list of effective ways to do something. Then I guess you would see what I'm doing because I'd be reading my own book on how to be effective. I think making arguments is effective in the end. I have no, there's really, I don't have some plan where, all of a sudden I go into a phone booth and the Superman suit pops on, like a bat cave, and I can jump on the pole in the Batman suit and I have the Batmobile. I really don't have a be Batman plan. Okay. I don't have an Alfred. I don't have a fucking mansion and a yacht. I don't have any, just, no bat computer. I got none of that shit. Anyway, let's see. It would be cool if people choose to give away vast riches. A billionaire is obscene. It would be cool if they would figure out, like, one of them, at least just one of them, would do something honest. They can't create an honest foundation. Every foundation they create is a fucking money-making organization for their own prodigy. Bill Clinton's daughter was getting paid $2 million a year to run a not-for-profit. I mean, it's disgusting. Bill Gates is doing the same thing. He's not creating some fucking charity. He's creating a fucking business that's called a charity. I mean, these people suck. You think they would do something for the people somewhere, and they don't do anything that doesn't pay them back in some way or another. They're all such scum. They're like Michael Jackson getting the Man of the Year award, because he gave 25 cents to the poor. Oh, it's disgusting. Animations, I don't know what that is. Thoughts on Sam Harris? Sam Harris is right, a lot of the time, and it seems like he only has 2 subjects he can't get right? Veganism and anti-natalism. I mean, he can't seem to figure out, this making babies is stupid, because now he's done it. He's a fucking idiot. But I mean, his moral landscape book, good arguments, fucker. His arguments against free will, good arguments. But yeah, everything else, he's fucking useless. Stupid turd. Why do so many right-wing poor turds defend the expansionist? I don't know what that means. Rich who have been born to their unearned wealth. I don't know why you could just ask, why do people defend the unearned wealthy? Anytime I hear Milton Friedman mention a favorable way, I want to slap the person in question in the face for being so dumb. Well, Milton Friedman did make a comment on this very subject, in the sense that Milton Friedman is not a big fan of inheritance. So Milton Friedman kind of sees capitalism through the eyes of what it should be, not what it actually is. And so I think he would almost say, if inheritance was going to be banned, big inheritance, I think he'd be for it, because I think he understands that would be totally great for capitalism, because now all these people who are born to successful people would actually have an incentive to go to work, and they'd actually be using their Harvard educations. I mean, how many people go to Harvard and don't use their education because they're from rich families and they don't have to go to work? I mean, it's just such a waste. Not that Donald Trump could have ever done any job well, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of these people actually would have children who have been well educated, and they're just totally wasted on golf courses. Harvard education to go play golf. Huge waste. The best thing we can do is make them aware of the argument. Not much else we can do, really. Well, not right now, but eventually it might become a shooting war, and then we can do something. You might want to reread my last comment. Fuck you. There was no trace of the word technically or bias. Well, I don't care. Fuck you. Trickle down, LOL. What is the meaning of life? It is suffering, apparently. It's a bug planet. There, that's the meaning of life. It's a bug planet. Life is a bug. A robotic bug. Is there any hope for the American political system? Yeah, there's lots of reasons to believe you can fix it because it's overtly fixable. It's disgustingly fixable. But everybody's too fucking naysay, nitpicky, retarded to ever fix it. So that's the downside. Even the people who are, oh yeah, it'd be really good if we fix it, like a Piro, they can't understand a solution. They can't tell bullshit from an actual solution. All right. Oh, right. I just gave money to a bunch of lazy, dumb leeches. Brilliant. I don't know what that means, but get cancer, Gary. I probably will get something horrible. So, yes, I'll comply with your request eventually. You have inspired me to make videos. I just need to buy a camera. Well, I probably have extra ones I could send you, but I don't know. It depends on how good your videos are going to be, whether it's a waste of, might just be. Yeah. I mean, really, a webcam is all you really need. It's not that tough. Is there any hope for Native Americans? What do you mean? The ones that are been killed 200 years ago? No, there's not too much hope for those. Neo-skeptic. I mean, there's no Native Americans in the North Americans anyway. They were genetically genocided. I mean, they're the only ones that were left were the Mohawks and the other sellouts. Neo-skeptic. Is there any hope for people who ask dumb questions? Yeah, that's a good question. No, he's against giving money to lazy tards. No, he's against giving money to lazy tards. I don't know what he means, but whatever. I guess I'm caught up now. Poo. But this is probably enough because, yeah, I'm not having much fun. I thought it was hilarious when you said the bald vegan guy who talks into his bald Mike girlfriend is a retard. Yes, that's right. It's not a very polite thing to say, but she's clearly, handy, capable in the, judgment sense. Would you respect someone's gender pronouns if they asked you to use them? Yeah, so of course, if somebody wants me to call them Mr. Rabbit, like say I did live next to Anticonavad and he said, I kind of like getting called Mr. Rabbit. I'd call him Mr. Rabbit. What's the big deal? Fuck. Most $10 phone have a camera. Just make sure you turn it 90 degrees. Horizontal videos are horrible. What's wrong with nationalism? Well, I don't know. What's wrong with nepotism? It's stupid. That's what's wrong with it. I mean, unless you think your nation is in some way fundamentally superior in some fundamental way. And, I'd say if we're going to judge just constitutions, I'd say the Germans have a better constitution than we do. Gary, do you live stream? Gary, do more live stream. Fuck you. I beg of you. I don't know why you would do such a thing. But anyway, I'll try to do this more often, but I don't see generally speaking, I don't know if there's a big payoff for it. I mean, I don't know if it's, gets anything accomplished. It just consumes time. Organism dispensers are a good way to incentive good ideas. I don't know what that means. Organ dispensers? I don't know what that means. Organism dispensers. I like the golden rule as a basis for a law system. I don't know what you're saying. Do you wish you were never born? Well, for me personally, yes, that would have been the way to go. Yes. I mean, on whole, my life has been fear and terror. And yes, it would have been better if I was aborted or something. But clearly, I have to concede, I think I have been useful. And so I have to argue in defense of my existence only because of all these shitty humans. I'm, in the useful category. Is race correlated with IQ? Well, probably, but it's not significant correlation. And IQ isn't really a very good test the way it's done. I mean, they don't test the outcomes. They test how fast you get to the solution, not whether you can get to a solution. Would you go on the Joe Rogan podcast? Well, of course I would. I'd go on any. I talk to complete losers. I talk to anybody. Gary, you convince. I mean, especially somebody I can argue with. I really want to just win arguments. That's what I like doing. Gary, you convinced me that giving money as an incentive for kids to learn is something that would be vastly improve our lives of the poor. Yes, exactly. I mean, you want to make poor people stop being bums. Pay them. Gee, the obvious answer. I love your voice. It's very powerful and masculine. It is. It matches other parts of me completely. You make no distinction between wealthy and extremely wealthy. Well, do I really have to spell it out for you that the problem really isn't somebody who inherited my granddaddy's watch or somebody living in their mommy's house or something, that the subject is a little bit more expansive, that the 1.01% own 50% of the fucking assets? Do I have to spell that out for you, creep? So it's the same quantum, asshole. I'm not even reading the next sentence. Fuck off, you retard. Ugh. Let's see. Hello, Gary. Could you recommend any practical ways to become smarter, wiser? Yeah, there's lots of science books. Go read some. Go get a book from the library on like aquarium fish diseases, and you will become smarter. Seems like lots of people finish good schools, but they are still dummies. Yeah, well, that's because, obviously the school has an incentive in squeaking them through. This is not to say that I think schools are useless. Yeah, well, regardless, I think it would be better just to have tests and not to have schools. Just to have a place you go to take the test. You either pass it or fail it. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs, whatever that means. What the hell? Did you like, again, somebody dropping a name. I don't even know who anybody is on this planet except for my name. And I barely know my name. Did you like Anthony Brodedian? Oh, he's the cook guy. I don't even know who the fuck he is. What do you think about people who say suicide is cowardly? Well, I think it's scummy when you got kids. I think it's quite, well, frankly, if you have to go, you have to go. I understand if you're in extreme pain and you have to die, okay, fine, die. I'm just saying it's overtly disgusting if you don't explain that you're leaving to your 11-year-old kid. That's fucking bullshit. And if you leave a 4-sentence, fuck you, go ask the scumbag who forced me to kill myself. This is just bullshit. So yeah, if you're just going to pile a bunch of emotional baggage on people, fuck you. If you're going to use your death to make some sort of emotional statement, fuck you. I think it's quite the opposite. To go against our brain's biological cipher makes it very difficult. Well, obviously it's not very difficult when the pain is, basically compelling you to jump in front of a car. So, but whatever. Yes, obviously it's difficult. I'm just saying, don't bring up these celebrity suicides. Just talk about the subject in general, not fucking celebrity shit. Are Jews overrepresented in the elites? I don't know. Do you think they are? I don't know. They're clearly, it's not that complicated. Obviously, a lot of Jewish culture is like Asian culture in the sense that they basically say to their kids, don't embarrass us, you little scum. don't embarrass the family, don't the tribe, don't embarrass the tribe, blah blah blah. So they make it pretty clear that you're a representative of the Jewish race and that you don't want to be a bum. And obviously, if black people or other people did that, if they were saying to their kids, don't embarrass us, tie your shoes, fucker. But they don't, because they're all crack whores and stupid as fuck, and they can't even manage a simple concept like that. But that's all the difference is. It's culture, idiots. This isn't a race thing. It's a culture thing. Obviously, retarded cultures make retarded people. I mean, do you think do you think Arabs are fundamentally, Muslim retards? No, there's no rule that says you have to be a dumbass. It's their fucking culture that makes them dumb. Does it matter if they are? No, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Paying kids to learn is different to paying so they can be lazy. I don't know what that means. I saw a child free denies video about Anthony, but I don't want to see this. I don't care about this shit. What did you think of? Well, I'll read. And frankly, it irritated me. For one, I wouldn't expect either of my parents to stick around. Yes, I wouldn't expect them to either, but they'd have to at least explain it. So I personally, if my father said, look, I'm in too much pain, I gotta go, I could understand, but I wouldn't want him not to explain it to me. It's just bullshit. What do you think of Infinity War? Well, I don't know what it is. It's stupid. But then again, personally, me and my parents aren't necessarily clingy and needy. We cannot talk for months and it's okay. Yeah, well, that's okay when you're, are you 11 years old? I'm talking about kids. Is studying computer coding and programming the best career option? No, go be a cop. You can make 200 grand. You get to beat the shit out of people with a fucking license. You can steal all the money you want. You got a ton of benefits. You go to 6 months training. No, get a job as a government fucking scumbag because they make incredible money for doing incredibly little work. A teacher, for example. I mean, yes, you don't make a great salary the first year, but you're guaranteed a salary increase, and all you have to do is show up. That's all you have to fucking do. You don't have to be good. You don't have to do anything. You just have to show up, and none of the kids, don't molest any of the kids. And in 30 years, you'll be making $1,000 a year, and you'll have a $100,000 pension. So, yeah, that's the way to go. You want to be a millionaire? Become a school teacher. Let's see. Unintelligible. No. Unintelligible. No, that wouldn't be it. Can value affect the world outside of its context? Value affect the world outside of its context. Consciousness. Stupid question. But my consciousness can't go anywhere. It's in my head, idiot. Fuck. When it essentially manifested in an illusion. Again, the fact that it's an illusion only means something, is that most of the things we consider illusions don't make us feel. So clearly, an illusion of feeling is fundamentally different than an illusion of fake nail clipper. So I have a fake illusion of a nail clipper. Well, there's not much difference between the real one and the fake one in the sense that it doesn't mean anything. But a real feeling versus a fake feeling, you get it? There's no difference between a real one and a fake one. It's impossible to make a fake feeling. Shit. Let's see. How do I properly ask you to be on a YouTube hangout with you? I don't know. You have to probably, they're going to kill the PM system in July. So I probably have to create an email just for these YouTube turds. I mean, for the YouTube folks. But yeah, Gary at InMendham.com will usually get to me. But yes, you ask. And but I have to know something about who the hell you are, but fine. I don't want to just spam your comment section and PMs. Well, I don't know how exactly it'd be spam. So write an email explaining why you think. I mean, have you made videos? Do I have some reason to believe that you are going to be an interesting person to talk to? Anyway, always interesting. Trying to have a great day, peeps. Okay, man, whatever, peeps. I don't like peep words. Why are teachers always going on strike on the news over how they are underpaid and overworked? Because it works as a racket. You just kind of lie. You just point, look how poor we are. Our starting salary is only, $48,000. And yes, of course, we get $30,000 worth of benefits. We have a starting salary of only $70,000. How horrible is that? But again, you have to understand, they don't have to improve their performance. There's no job I ever had where I didn't have to do something more to make more money. You don't get to go work at a restaurant as a dishwasher, and in 10 years, you start making $60,000 a year. It doesn't work that way. You don't get paid more money just for hanging around, but you do as a school teacher. You're guaranteed to get very wealthy. You don't have to become a manager. You don't have to go to extra school. You don't have to do anything extra. And they'll pay you more and more and more money for doing nothing extra, just for getting older and shittier and lazier. They'll pay you more and more money for that. Hi, everybody. I mean, if you really look at it statistically, I think it's actually through real research, like Pew or something. One of the best, most reliable ways to become an actual millionaire is to get into public education. That's how well it works. By the time you're 50 years old, you're going to be a rich fucker. Hi, everybody. When I can't argue or deal with facts, I just block people. So more just nonsense. Clearly, that's not what I'm doing. And it's obvious to anybody who's watching it, that's not what I'm doing. So I'm blocking people for being completely unnecessarily rude and to lie. So you call yourself Gary the Coward, and somebody's supposed to say, oh, I'm supposed to accept that insult from this turd who doesn't even let me know who he is. An unaccountable fucking asswipe. A troll throwing mud from behind a little pussy small dick rock. Ugh. So, I mean, it's quite obvious. Everybody can see. I'm not afraid of your arguments. I just have enough personal integrity that I'm not letting you stand on my podium like an equal. You don't deserve it. You haven't earned it. Intelligent. No, there was more to it. Quit trying. It was probably just unimpossible. It was probably one of those things. It's probably that little fat kid. And he said, that's impossible. That's probably what it is. The other little fat kid, not the whatever, Spanky, not Cartman, but the other little fat kid, the dumb one. So since feelings is different than non-feeling, what would be a way to, I think that was, I just put South Park into The Simpsons. Oh, that's hilarious. Anyway, would be a way to examine it beyond itself. Let's see. So since feeling is different than non-feeling, what would be a way to examine it beyond itself? Oh, that's just crap. Can we explain experience with itself only? I don't know. What the fuck are you talking about? You either get it. I mean, you're conscious and you have feelings, and now you're having some problem figuring out what a feeling is. The feeling is what you're experiencing. That's all it is. And you can tell from the experience that the whole function of me feeling is to create something called bad feelings and good feelings, to create rewards and punishments. They're clearly good things and bad things, and they're intended to force me to obey the good path and go and avoid the bad path. It's clearly that's the function, is to create value in the world. It didn't exist before. Now it exists. Oh, shit. There was no good road or bad road until our feelings showed up. Teachers have a hard job, though. Kids are so goddamn annoying. Well, yeah, I frankly wouldn't like the job, but I'm just saying it's they are insanely underqualified and overpaid. InMendham, do you smoke weed? Not too often. Unintelligent, inconceivable, whatever that is. Ralph Wiggums. Yeah, I guess that's who it was who said it first, I think. Impossible. If women's genitals is stuck severely, stunk? Oh. And well, and could be clearly smelt from close proximity, would humans go extinct? I don't see how that stops somebody from sticking a dick in one, but whatever. Are you a Howard Stern listener? Well, I was 15 years ago when he was actually funny, before he became a Nazi. I remember he defended the beating of Rodney King, so I basically said, fuck you, Howard, you're a retard. What do you think about the whole Facebook data mining scandal? Who cares? I mean, if you don't know that these companies are using your data, you're a retard. How are we going to convince more people into going vegan? To me, that's not the story. So I'm sorry. I just don't, yes, vegan's a good thing. I'm just saying the game isn't not eating meat. The game is there's too many living things suffering on planet Earth, whether they're vegan or not. How are we going to convince more people to do that? Yes, I have videos. 2 of them might be worth your time. All right, whatever. Let's see, reload. I can't, it's funny, you can't copy or paste anything in here. So I'll try to find your dopey channel and see what you got. InMendham, does anything scare you? I've already pointed out what scares me. Living on this planet over and over and over again as one of you imbeciles scares the fuck out of me. The rest of the universe can be examined beyond itself. I suppose it is the difference to being conscious and not conscious. The rest of the universe can be examined beyond itself, whatever that means. I suppose this is stupid. The rest of the universe can be examined beyond itself. What does that even mean? The universe is not a self, a thing. It doesn't do anything thinking wise or abstractly. I suppose is the difference to being conscious and not conscious. Whatever. You're just way out of the necessary realm of thought and logic. Oh, you can click the S to the right of the name and go to the channel. Yes, I thought there was some trick to it. Oh, yes, the icon. Yes, try to click on the icon. I think we could get rid of the bad feelings as opposed to all feelings. Well, you can think all kinds of silly shit, but I don't think there is any good ones without the comparison to the bad ones. Are you afraid that Trump will be reelected in 2020? I frankly think it has to be a grotesque impossibility, but I don't think Republicans are going to get reelected because people are going to figure out how we've been totally fucked by these horrible policies. Bad feelings are the basics of all feelings. Does logic precede existence or emerge with existence? This logic is just putting facts together without contradiction. So you put a pile of facts together, and if none of them disagree with each other, you say, oh, those are all good facts, and they all point to a truth, and you say, then it must be true. Logic is just the process of combining facts in a rational manner, not putting any bad ingredients in the bowl, and then you just put it in the oven and it bakes itself. Are you Miles Mathis? Are you retarded? Seriously, are you retarded? To the right of your icon. Yes, I already know that. Let's see. To the right of the icon of the line is a same as your mute hide timeout button. I don't know what you're talking about. The right of the icon is the person's name. There's nothing else there. There's nothing. Sorry. You're retarded. Do you think imagination has any net benefit? Oh, we said to the right of the icon of the line. Well, the right, yeah, I already know the menu's over there, but there's no button to, yeah. I don't even know what mute is. There's no mute on here. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, do you think imagination, I don't know, has any net benefit in the age of automated and AI? There's no age of AI, whatever. AI is a silly notion. There'll never be an artificial intelligence. Would you prefer to live in a French countryside like the modern mystic does? Well, yeah, I'd really love to live in a better place than a rented shack. Yeah. Do you believe the development of artificial superintelligence, ISA, good or bad thing? Well, there's no artificial superintelligence. It's a silly idea. They have to make a sentient before you can make an artificial intelligence. Any other intelligence has to be told what is good and bad. It has to be programmed. It won't be artificial intelligence. It won't be able to learn what if you can't know what a feeling is, it can't know the most important thing in the world. So how could it be artificially intelligent? It's artificially stupid. If it doesn't know the most important fact in the world, that is knowing a feeling, don't you think not being aware of feelings, like you never had one, you don't know what they are, and nobody could ever explain one to you, so you're completely ignorant of feelings, you think you could possibly be called intelligent when you have absolutely no knowledge of what a feeling is? You're an idiot. All I mean is that we can use a microscope of our eyes to examine rocks. However, with consciousness, we cannot seem to achieve this beyond our direct experience. Is this significant to describe it? Well, of course your direct experience is sufficient to describe it. It's goddamn fucking idiotic. You're experiencing its function. What else do you need? It's pissing all over you, so to speak. You've got the message. Oh, damn. All right, yes. What do you think about animals kept in zoos? Well, it's dangerous. You got to do it carefully. But, it can be fun. I wouldn't mind being kept in a zoo, frankly. And have I'll just sit here and, do whatever the fuck I want. And you throw a bag of fruit at me now and then. I think I'd be happy. Better than in the wild. Sam Harris thinks it's likely that AI will replace us with the next. Well, Sam Harris is a douche, as pointed out earlier. What's dumb? It's like nailing jelly to the wall, whatever that means. I mean, you can mimic our behavior. We're easy to replace if all you need is something to fart now and then, and to smoke some nicotine, and to say a funny line. Oh, impossibility, unbelievable. It's just say nonsense and rubbish and gibberish. Yes, you can make something to mimic a human being, but you can't make an intelligence, all right, in the sense of one that can acquire knowledge that doesn't have knowledge of good and evil. Without knowledge of good and evil, you're an imbecile. You can't be a super intelligence. You're a retard. So the artificial intelligence would only be as smart as we make it through programming. Random question. When is the last time you watched porn? Is porn exploitative gross? Well, it's clearly in the past it has been exploitative. Some of it was made, at the, beating people and, killing them and all kinds of sick, stupid shit. But I say once it's made, I'd say, yeah, go ahead, watch what you want. I don't, frankly. I mean, women can complain that it objectifies women, but fuck, men really get objectified because the only men allowed to be in porn have 12-inch dicks. And how's it going to make the rest of us look? We're all kind of like, oh, shit, I don't have a 12-inch dick. So, in some sense, I mean, men come off objectified much worse than women are objectified. When will you have your theories on physics complete? Well, they're pretty close to good enough, in my opinion. What things you're unfinished? So this R thing. Yeah, no, I think I got enough. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to have a little more on the subject to drag a little more of the understanding of the exact mechanism of the of inside an atom and exactly what it's doing. But I got it close enough to be able to make the argument that this is the right road for physics to be walking. This rational road, rather than the silly, wooey, religious fantasy road of magical Heisenbergs and Huygenses and silly ideas and multiverses and all this horse fucking shit. So thank you for bringing up a painful subject at the end of this, whatever it was, this encounter with the public. So anyway, I think we've done enough damage. I could have reversed it. See, I should have done that way before, because that's a much better angle. And I could have made it biggering. I could have biggerated it. Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea, because mostly, one of the volcano images is now in the dark, and so you can't see anything happen, and the other one's getting, the other one's really going still. I mean, that fissure is still pumping the shit out. Pooh. Anyway, have you watched any good movies? No, I haven't seen any good movies lately. I haven't had any new ones to watch, so I haven't watched any new movies. When synthetic brains do your brain, when you become conscious after they become super intelligence, pure logic. When synthetic brains do what our brains do, they'll be conscious. Well, it's silly. Consciousness is made up of two components, not the smart bits, the logic bits. It's made up of the feeling bit first, you idiot. How are you going to synthesize feelings? You can't do it, retard. You'll have no chance you're ever going to make a synthetic consciousness. It's never going to happen. Let's see. So conscious is its own thing, pretty much different from other things in the universe, because it can't describe itself. Oh, whatever. This describing itself bullshit. Is it an assertion beyond more illusion? Is this an assertion, technically speaking? Again, this is not complicated. You're experiencing the consciousness. You clearly understand it's not pen. Consciousness is doing something fundamentally different than pen is doing. So what is the argument? There's value being created in this thing happening. This brain being conscious and alive, value is being created because there's a positive and negative feeling. And the positive, negative feelings, although they're supposed to represent things in the world like good and bad, the fact is they make the things in the world good and bad. The things can't be good and bad until the consciousness says it's good and bad, because the consciousness is going to make a feeling thing experience the bad feelings. And the bad feelings are the only thing that could possibly be bad in the universe. There is no bad without bad feelings. I just hate these people, and on and on and on like this is complicated. It's not fucking complicated. I hate that shit. All right, so I think we're done. So this is the done moment of the video. So we'll do a little bit of fun. Fun. And then we'll say goodbye. So anyway, till next time and such. I'd like to say I enjoyed it, but I really didn't. So anyway, till next time.